I have expected you.
Oh my, sorry about that. Hello, I'm Aripidea, but you can call me Ara. Welcome to How I Made My Persona. When I started to prepare this year, I actually searched for a video kinda like this one because I just find it easier to figure out what I want to do and how if I have reference. But I couldn't really find one that actually helped me, so I'm making it myself. Hi! I will go over my entire process from the why to how. So let me start with my general ideas, but first I will put myself over there because I want to show a lot of pictures of my process, so let me make some space. The really short version is that I originally had a different username for the English online room, then I had a crisis about it and took this text post extremely literally. At the very, very beginning of my new character, I wanted to incorporate red as a main color, also in combination with another possible username I built, which I didn't really like that much. Like, it was good, but wasn't the one. Though the error part was in it, and I liked it a lot, so I kept brainstorming from there. The whole jacket idea also came from that, as I have a red jacket in real life, but ultimately I decided against it for the video stuff, as it would just make things more complicated. That was the point where I decided that I wanted to make it quite simple to make stuff easier for me. Another first idea I had was rolled up sleeves on the shirt with little paw prints, but I decided against it. I don't quite remember why, but I do like the kinda like open sleeves I have now a bit more. At first the hair was also supposed to be longer, but I think while making the final design the hair got shorter, but then in the final artworks, like the profile picture and banner, they got longer again. I don't know what happened, but it's fine. So the finalized ideas mostly came with the name, and this username actually was the name I had the least problems with. Ever. Like, normally I need to write all over my whiteboard at least 2 times before coming up with something slightly acceptable. But here it was very, very easy. Probably because I had the aforementioned other name before, so I probably subconsciously knew what I didn't like and how to fix it. Right after deciding that this name is the name, I had the idea for my channel banner. While I was figuring out how I wanted to do the hair, I had this hair shape I used as a filler. Coming to the final style of the hair also took some steps. I think this was the first real step to what it ended up being. But I did have this other version as a possibility. The, how I call them, drill buns were something I wrote on one of my first notes for this persona, back when I didn't even have my now name. I'm not sure from where the initial idea came from, but I do know that for reference I used Katsumi from Prism and Lee Soo-hyun's animated version from the Alien MV. But even with those two as reference, I went through multiple versions before I settled on the final one. I started out way too detailed for my liking and then narrowed it down until I thought it was good. And this is what I ended up with. Regarding the clothes, I entertained multiple ideas, from the red jacket that was first planned over how the shirt could be to if I rather would like a skirt or pants. Ultimately, I settled on the shirt-pants combo which you see now because it's something I would actually wear in real life. And the jacket did make a comeback later on, just in a different way than I thought. And I actually made my design quite simple on purpose, especially with all the VTubers who debuted over the last 2 years. Detailed, complicated designs have gathered quite a lot, which by no means is bad. But I wanted to do something simple so it would be easier to draw. Mostly just so it's easy to draw for me. Also the reason why the jacket is a bit more detailed, as I made it later on and wanted some more detail on it. You may have noticed the white shoes in the first design picture. There, I scratched that real fast and decided to only have socks, because I do mostly wear socks and, out there in the void, it doesn't really matter if you wear something on your feet or not. Though it does get cold, so wear at least socks on your little feet. There were also some ideas I didn't end up using but kinda went through in a testing phase. For example, the pants at first were just blue. No pink details, but I felt like something was missing, so I added the pink in the pockets and down at the cuffs. One test I did was this color gradient pants thing, which I kinda liked but wasn't the best idea. So while writing the script, I was talking to Ayyyy. This is becoming a normal thing. Me working, talking to Ayyyy, and realizing something for the next video. And I just realized that I actually had an earring planned, which just kind of lost over the planning time. I think a big part of why I kind of gave up on it is because of the hair pieces that frame my face, and also just it was such a small detail, so I'm not even that sad that it got lost in the process. Oh, I also had different options for the back design of the jacket. Till now, I haven't fully used it yet. I mean, only in this one picture, and you can partially see it, but these are the two options I had, and then I decided on this one. So, after having finished the design, I went over to the next step, which was planning the expressions/poses. I decided pretty early on that this was the way I wanted to make my content after considering my possibilities. So the first thing I did when thinking about expressions was looking at how others did it and start a list of possible expressions for myself. I think I had like over 5 different lists over the span of planning. It was a lot. I also had so many sketch versions of the planned poses, and there were also some that I didn't use. Most of those I didn't end up making were just because I didn't feel like they were necessary. The first versions I made were just to get a feel for it, just having a starting point. After that, I went into more details regarding the poses themselves, before going into more details with the expressions and then the designs themselves. I had exactly 7 different sketch versions, which is a lot, but I also had never done anything similar before, and it turned out alright, so I think it's fine. Here, I have the almost final versions of the sketches, aka the 6th version, which is still a bit rough, but mostly final. You probably noticed that for a lot of me, there aren't any sketches, and even among these final sketches, there are some things that I didn't make how I wanted to, simply because either I couldn't or I had a better idea while doing the line art. I worked through everything systematically as I first finished all the sketches, then made all the line art, and then colored everything. It seemed the best way for me, and it did work out, even though it did take a long time. So, I hope this helps someone. I did my duty in making another video I would like to watch, and as a little bonus, here's a prototype I'm working on for a more casual outfit. With this, I release you into the depths of the universe. Once again, see ya!